So hello students, this is our second class of this chapter 4, that is materials, metals and non-metals. As in the last class I told you that for this network issue we are facing some problem in Zoom class, so I have again shifted to YouTube classes. If you face any problem, you feel free to ask me. For your better understanding purpose I am making these videos. It's very tough process on making videos, but for you guys only I am preparing these things. If you face any problem, then feel free to ask me. Okay, so today we'll discuss with mainly the physical properties of metals and non-metals. In the last class I have discussed one or two properties roughly, but due to network issues most of you couldn't attend the class. So today I'll repeat from the beginning the different physical properties of metals. And so first property is physical state. So in which state we will find metals and non-metals. Before understanding this, just think about some metals. First think about some metals. What are the different metals? Iron is a metal, right? Gold is a metal, silver, aluminium, okay, lead, all are metal. Iron, you can imagine iron, for example, iron doors are there in your home, okay, iron utensils are there. So iron, you know, iron is a hard metal, right? Next, aluminium. In your kitchen you have aluminium plates, aluminium different utensils made up of aluminium spoon. So aluminium is also hard metal, right? Then tin. In your home kitchen your different stoves and different utensils are also made up of tin. Your home roof are made up of tin, so tin is also hard. Other examples: aluminium, steel, gold. Your mother, for example, your mother or sister wears some jewelry. This jewelry is made of gold, and gold is hard enough. Silver is also hard, right? So what I am telling to say is that most of the metals, if you think about it, you will find that most of the metals are hard. So the physical state of matter is exactly the same. Each and every metal is hard in nature, there is solid in nature, okay, each and every, except only one, okay, that only one metal is mercury. You will find mercury is the only metal till date found by human beings, okay, which exists in liquid state in room temperature. Except mercury, each and every metals discovered till today are found in solid state, not in liquid or gas. In gaseous state no metal is found, okay, no metal exists in gaseous state. All of the metals exist in solid state in room temperature. Room temperature is normal temperature, home temperature, okay, whatever temperature we are feeling now, this temperature. At heating everything may melt, okay, if you heat iron, if you heat gold, everything will melt. But in normal temperature what happens, most of the metals remains solid. Exception is the mercury. Now come to non-metals. Non-metals in generally are solid or gaseous, okay. Examples of non-metals: sulfur, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, okay, phosphorus. So all of you know sulfur, phosphorus, you have probably heard about this in agriculture. People give phosphorus fertilizer in land, okay. So phosphorus, sulfur, these are nothing but solid form. But hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, what are these? These are all gaseous, okay. So non-metal can exist in solid or gaseous form, both form, okay. And which only there is only one non-metal that can exist in liquid form, that is your bromine. So remember this, only two exceptions are there, okay, both for metal and non-metals. In metal, mercury is the exception, which in room temperature you will find in your liquid state, and from non-metals it is bromine, which is non-metal and it exists in liquid form in room temperature. Next is malleability or brittleness, okay. What is malleability or brittleness? Malleability or brittleness is the property, okay, first discuss one by one, okay. Malleability is a property by which you can convert any metal, okay, or non-metal into a thin sheet like form, for example paper like form, by giving pressure on it using hammer. If I give you one gold, okay, and if I tell you, okay, made it into paper sheet, can you do this? You cannot. But the expert people can convert this gold piece or iron piece or aluminum piece into a paper like thin things. Okay, there are different techniques to solve this. Probably you have seen these things. This is a aluminum foil which is used to cover food. But think, in your home you have aluminum spoon, aluminum utensils, okay, aluminum pan. These are hard, but this is so thin, it is less thin than, it is more thin than your paper you understand, your book paper. Okay, so how it is prepared? It is prepared by continuously hammering on a metal, okay, that is aluminum, using some high weight hammer. So this property of metal by which you can convert any metal into a thin sheet like form is known as malleability, and the opposite of this malleability is known as brittleness. Okay, what is brittleness? The property of non-metals by which you cannot convert any non-metal into a thin sheet like this is known as brittleness. Okay, example of malleability, which metal shows? Gold, silver, aluminum, copper. Gold are used for making gold chains, different jewelries are made using gold. Okay, then silver, aluminum, you can see aluminum examples are many. This medicine wrappers are made up of aluminum foil. So aluminum is converted into aluminum foil and it is used for packaging of medicine, packaging of food. Okay, but there is also exception, that is zinc is a metal. Okay, not all metal shows this malleability property. If you try to make zinc metal into a sheet by continuously hammering on it, it will break. So zinc is brittle in nature, remember, it is an exception. Non-metals mostly show this brittle property. Non-metals and non-metal, okay, malleable as they cannot be beaten into the thin sheets or hammering. Okay, this brittleness, okay, no need to explain this, I have already explained this. Then ductility. What is ductility? Any idea? In your home, probably you have seen electric wires, right? Inside the wires, what is there? Either copper wires are there. If you, okay, every wire is covered by some rubber. You see this diagram, and you now look at your home, your surrounding, you will find some wires are there, right, in your home. Mobile charger wire, any wire. So every wire is covered by some plastic, right? If you open the plastic, inside the plastic you will find two types of wire are there. Either it is made up of copper or it is made up of aluminum. These are more common. Other types are there, but these two are more common. Either it is copper or your aluminum. Okay, so what is ductility? Most of the materials can be drawn into thin wires. Okay, you can convert most of the metals, for example gold, silver, this aluminum, into thin wires. So the property of metals by which you can convert this in the form of thin wire is known as ductility. Is it clear? What is ductility? The property of metal by which you can convert a metal into a thin wire. See, aluminum is too hard and your copper is also very hard, but it is having some good property by which you can convert it into thin wires. Okay, so this property is known as ductility. ductility. Pronunciation should be clear and spelling should be clear, so read this very carefully. So what are the best ductile metal? We know gold and silver are among the best ductile metal, because we have seen gold chains and different other gold jewelry and silver jewelry. These are the most finest work. Okay, gold, these small chains they are making by again this coiling this gold chain, gold wire, small wires. So these are the most ductile metals, gold and silver. Okay, apart from gold and silver, copper, aluminum, iron, magnesium metals can be easily drawn into thin wires, so they are very ductile. So gold and silver are the best example, but apart from gold and silver there are other examples also. These are your copper, aluminum, iron and magnesium. Most of the metals show, okay, non-metals still not coming. The wires inside the electric cables are mostly made up of copper metal. So in your home, whatever wire you are seeing, in most of the cases it is made up of copper metals. If not copper, then it will be made up of your aluminum. Tungsten is used for making the filament of incandescent bulb. Okay, tungsten is used for making this filament. If you have seen bulb in your home, now in your home it is mostly LED bulbs, okay, but before LED there are this type of bulbs are there. If you have seen, this used to give yellow color light. LED gives white color light, but this halogen bulbs used to give yellow color light, okay. So this, in this bulb there was a filament known up of tungsten which used to give light. Most of the metals are ductile, but non-metals are not ductile. You cannot convert non-metals into this wire like shape, okay, they are not ductile. When stretched, non-metals like sulfur and phosphorus break into pieces and do not form wires. If you try to make non-metals if you try to make wire from non-metals, if you stretch them, they will break into pieces and do not form wires, okay. So remember, ductility is the property shown by most of the metals, not by the non-metals. The most ductile metal is gold and silver. Apart from gold and silver, next is copper, aluminum, iron and magnesium. The most common which you find in our home is in electric wire, it is made up of copper, and in bulbs tungsten filament is found. So next from ductile it is luster. What is luster? This is also common property, okay. Luster means every metals, most common is gold. How, if I give you some yellow color object, normal thing, and gold, how can you differentiate? The gold will be lustrous. Lustrous means the gold will have some shine, okay. Luster means having some shine. So most of the metals are lustrous, that means they have a shiny surface. Gold, silver, iron, new iron things, new aluminum. If you buy new aluminum utensils for your kitchen, steel utensils, these all have shine, okay, these all are shining. So most of the metals are lustrous, that means they will have a shine on the surface. This property is called metallic luster, and this shining property of metal is known as metallic luster. Because luster is only limited to metals, non-metals show luster, only metals show this property of luster. The shiny surface of metals make them, okay, good reflectors of light. Due to this shiny surface, they can reflect light in a good way. Because of their metallic luster, gold, silver and platinum metals are used for making jewelry and decorative articles. So why we use gold, silver, platinum etc. for making different jewelry? Because of their shine, right? If someone is wearing gold and if there is no shine, then people will say it is duplicate, because we identify these things by their shine. So we use gold, iron, silver etc. for making platinum etc. for making different jewelries, because they have shine. What is this AU, AG and PT? These are the in chemistry, in different metals and non-metals are given some denotation, okay, to identify them easily. So you have to remember, gold is said as AU, silver is AG and platinum is PT. This time you must remember, in higher class there will be no names like platinum. You've given the PT form, and from that you have to identify. Even in your class also, in next part in chemical properties, you need to write in these forms AU, AG, PT. So remember these terms from now. The glass mirrors have the thin coating of a metal like silver or aluminum at their back that act as a reflector of light. So one thing just I've said, that this gold, silver, this platinum, everything has shining appearance, so they can reflect light. Apart from this feature, where we are using this shining property, what is a mirror? Mirror is nothing but a simple glass. In back side of the mirror, just a silver or aluminum paint is applied, okay. It is on the back side, silver or aluminum metal is painted, so it is reflecting light, okay. So the second use of metals is their luster body is they are used on the back side of any mirror for making the mirror, which will help them to reflect light in better way. No normal metal show shiny appearance like metals. Okay, they are dull in appearance. However, iodine and graphite show some luster. So most of the normal metals do not show any luster. They are dull in appearance. That means they do not have any shine. Only iodine and graphite show some luster. Not they are not like gold and silver like too much shining in nature, but they show some luster. Okay, they show some shine. Next is conductor of heat. Okay, this is the last property we will discuss today, and the remaining we will discuss on the next class. Conductors of heat. If for example if your mother is cooking using a steel, for example, what should I say, she is cooking in a iron pan. Okay, and if you touch the pan you will feel the heat. Why it is so? Because metals can conduct heat. Okay, metals are good conductors of heat. If you touch a hot pan or hot aluminum utensil glass, okay, what will feel? You will feel heat because metals are good conductors of heat. So they are telling that metals are good conductors of heat except bismuth. So only one exception is there. All metals are good conductors of heat except the bismuth. Okay. For example, silver is the best conductor of heat, followed by copper. So which one is the best conductor of heat? Silver is known as the best conductor. It can conduct the maximum number of heat, amount of heat, not number, amount of heat. And next is copper. Okay, aluminum and iron are also good conductors of heat. Aluminum and iron can also conduct good amount of heat. For this reason, metals like aluminum, iron, copper are used for making utensils and water bottles. So these are the reason for which aluminum, iron, etc. are used for making utensils, home utensils. Okay, because you are applying heat here. Okay, if you put in the gas stove, you will apply heat here down. If heat cannot pass through the utensil, okay, steel or aluminum utensil, your water or whatever you are trying to boil over here, it will not get boiled. That means these utensils need to pass the heat. They should be good conductor of heat. This is the reason we use aluminum, iron, copper, etc. for transmitting heat. Okay, non-metals also can conduct heat, but they are not that good conductor of heat. They are known as poor conductor of heat. They conduct small amount of heat. Diamond, a form of carbon, is the only non-metal that is good conductor of heat. Only exception is diamond, which is a form of carbon, can conduct good amount of heat. So in conductor of heat also there are two exceptions. All metals are good conductor of heat except the bismuth. Okay, bismuth. And all non-metals are poor conductor of heat except the graphite diamond. Diamond is a good conductor of heat. So up to this much is for today. If you have any doubt, you can ask. The remaining 3 or 4 properties will describe in the next class. Okay, so this is for today, students. Thank you.